Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. And our guest right now is Carrie Rosingana. She's the CEO of CAMW, the Capital Area Michigan Works. And it's always good to have you on. Of course, everybody should know you service not only Lansing, but Ingham County, Eaton County, and Clinton County. Pretty big job. How you doing?
I'm doing well. 2024 is off to a strong start already, so no complaints over here, Chris, and thanks for having me as always.
Awesome. It's great to have you on. And let's talk about one segment of that, and that would be the Early Childhood Investment Corporation. Tell me about that, what it is.
Yeah, so the Early Childhood Investment Corporation is a group that is really focused in and honed in on supporting early childhood workforce. And they've been doing this work for a while to advocate about the importance of early childhood and having quality care for our next generation of workforce, basically. And it's been really exciting because over the last several years, they've had a couple of grant opportunities that have connected into our Michigan work system and have allowed for us to be able to look at partnership in a new way. And I'll tell you, just personally, that's really exciting to me because many people may not know, but before I was in workforce development, my degree is in early childhood education, and I actually taught as an early educator. So it's really great to be able to combine both of those career objectives that I've had together and to be able to support that next workforce coming up through the pipeline.
Oh, that's really great. So full circle, really, for Carrie.
Full circle.
So tell me about challenges that are out there currently affecting this childhood education and of course, the workforce in Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know that early childhood education and those professions are really critically important, but there can be challenges sometimes in attracting talent to go into these industries and to also be able to retain them. We know during the pandemic that there was a number of early childhood centers that had to close. And we know that women who left the workforce certainly had to pick up some of the childcare responsibilities. And we're still seeing where some of those slots are not still open, or some of those centers may not have been able to reopen. So what we're really focused in on with some of these projects is looking at how we can support the infrastructure and the businesses that are in this space, and also give them some opportunities to advocate for things like pay parity. We know that early childhood education professions, even if you have a bachelor's degree, oftentimes that pay range is really not as high as it could be. So getting people who are interested in it, even though they may have that dedication to keep them in that industry, can be really challenging sometimes. So that's really what we're focusing on. And I'm excited, one of our grants, we actually get to talk about looking at apprenticeship models within this industry. So we're tackling it from a lot of different angles, and there's a lot of work to do, but we're excited to be a part of those conversations.
You know, it's pretty incredible because actually what we're talking about is the difference in a pay raise doesn't cover the difference in the childcare cost. And so it's not cost effective to go to work, which hurts us, taking people out of the workforce, of course. What's your involvement there at CAMW with the Early Childhood Investment Corporation?
Yeah, so we actually are connected to two different grant projects. There is a regional coalition that's formed and is being co-led by Capital Area Michigan Works, the United Way of South Central Michigan, as well as LEAP. And we're working directly with public sector consultants to dig in and do some research and do some convening work so that we can really figure out how we can support that regionalized conversation and maybe push it up in partnership with ECIC to advocate at the state level for maybe where there's some of those change opportunities to look at things like pay and hours and benefits. The other exciting grant that we just received is an apprenticeship grant, and it's to look at developing a model within some of these partnerships with our employers for them to create a childcare, early care apprenticeship that will allow for folks to get the hours they need, and that will lead to an industry recognized credential that will help those individuals who maybe are in support staff roles within a center already, but are interested in becoming a lead teacher, to give them those pathways and opportunities. So we hired on a new staff member who is working directly on all things related to this. And we're really getting some momentum, and we have a lot of excitement from these employers, and we're hearing from them. It's really great to see both Early Child Investment Corporation continuing to support this industry, but also to see some state dollars as well behind it too.
So, Carrie, given your educational degree, which you just told us about, focusing on early childhood education, what do these projects mean to you?
They mean everything to me, because there's a direct correlation when you look at early childhood programs that have quality teaching staff and who have gone through and had credentials. They're preparing those kiddos who are getting ready to enter kindergarten through 12th grade, and we're arming them with those skill sets and experiences that can help them to be successful. It's not just K through 12, it's pre-K through 12 that is important for us to be thinking about. And we also know in early childhood, there's those career awareness opportunities, even with those young kids, for exposure purposes. So, with workforce development being at the heart of everything I do, that's something that I know that they're doing in these centers. And it's a way for us to just be more intentional and deliberate, and talking about the need for some of these, maybe where there were gaps between conversations, for us to now align some of that dialogue and support it in a way that we haven't been able to do before. So it's really been a personal passion for me to be able to see these things come together, and I look forward to supporting it further.
Well, keep up the good work, because we need to find the little chinks in people not coming back to work and get them back here. Carrie Rosingana, CEO of the Capital Area Michigan Works, servicing Eaton, Clinton, and Ingham counties. Thanks so much for being with us, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Chris.
You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.